Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Folks, I hope it's clear to everybody by now that we are gonna make it. Consider this. So at the time I'm recording this video, it is 8:14 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone here in the good old Midwest in the United States. October 4th, Friday, October 4th, 2024. It has been just over 52 hours since we got news that the SEC was appealing the Judge Torres decision in the SEC v. Ripple case. That's 2 days and 4 hours, folks, just over that. And what has happened with the price of XRP since then? It is in line with what I'd been saying for weeks leading up to this, my broad expectation would have been. And I didn't make a price prediction. I didn't even predict what the percentages would be, but my broad expectation, what would happen, it has come to pass. I think it's impossible to reasonably dispute it at this point. And what did I say? I said that, yeah, wouldn't be surprised if XRP price does go down to whatever degree. And I'm a little surprised it wasn't more than this, but I thought it would go down and then it would be fine. There wouldn't be some crazy floor like when the SEC first sued Ripple, and then it would go up and XRP would just resume. And it was even less consequential than I would have guessed if I had put out a more precise expectation. Think about this. When the news broke 2 hours and 4 days ago, the price of XRP dropped at a notable clip quickly compared to what it had been dropping at, because that was a red day regardless for the entire market. But it dropped quickly only for an hour and a half. It went from 56 cents down to 53 cents, roughly speaking, so down about 5%. That was the end of the precipitous drop. And then it went up and down a little bit for the rest of the day, but mostly moved sideways. And now it's moving back up with the rest of the market. Compare that to what happened in 2020. It's not even close. When the news broke, the SEC was suing Ripple, and that meant effectively attacking all XRP holders. The price of XRP dropped probably close to 80%, and it didn't have little pauses in between. You know, it went down practically in a straight line for like a week. It didn't go down for an hour. So think about it. XRP went down for a week roughly in 2020 when that news broke, versus this time it only went down for about an hour and a half. The rest of the next 52 hours, it's moved sideways and now up today. That's what I was saying, like, as people were freaking out. And I noticed, even after a half hour, I even put out a post, I was like, guys, XRP's only down a penny. If this is some sort of disastrous news that's going to be world destroying for XRP, how come it's down 1 penny after a half hour? Like, information in 2024 with the internet, information is disseminated quickly, let's say. Everybody gets news alerts on their phone. Like, information travels fast. And for it to only be down 1 penny after half an hour, I was like, that doesn't sound too bad, because I lived through worse. I've definitely lived through worse. I've lived through worse when there wasn't a narrative that you could attach to it. So take it for what it's worth here, but XRP at 53.6 cents. You've got actually a 24-hour high of 53.9 cents. Not looking too bad. And we've got a green day in crypto. So XRP up 3.51%, up more than Bitcoin, up 2.61% for Bitcoin. And if you look at these charts, like here, for those of you who want to look at the screen, I'm just going to do what I do sometimes, which is show a 24-hour chart for XRP and Bitcoin and just flash back and forth between the XRP and Bitcoin tabs on my Brave browser here. And you'll see that these are very similar charts, because XRP continues to move in tandem with the rest of the market. Now, don't you love to see this? So, folks, we are going to make it. If there's going to be an alt season, it is completely absurd to me to think that XRP is not somehow going to be a part of this. Completely unreasonable in my estimation. And there were enough doomsayers responding to my post. I'm like, everybody's entitled to their opinion, fine. But I just found anything uttered along that lines to be incredibly unconvincing. And now with this much time having passed, look, XRP can go down, but if it does, it will be with the rest of the market. It won't be because of this. Certainly not. Because this doesn't matter, because the typical XRP holder understands that there's no risk to XRP because of the appeal. XRP has legal clarity, and even if the SEC defeats Ripple upon appeal, it doesn't impact secondary market transactions that you and I would be engaging in. It doesn't matter. It would only impact Ripple's transactions specifically. You love to see it. And so markets up today. Here we had the headline from Fortune Crypto. Bitcoin jumps over $62,000 on sparkling jobs report. And so here's a post. Actually, this one's from the blockchain backer. U.S. unemployment rate. He says U.S. unemployment rate it ticks down for a second month in a row to 4.1%. So this is happening. Inflation rate is heading in the right direction. The rate is heading down. Now, actual inflation is always heading up, but if you're talking about the inflation rate, which people improperly label frequently, but if you're talking about the actual rate of the increase, the rate of the increase is decreasing. So that is good. That's the right direction. These are the types of factors that, thinking if you're wanting to consider investing in the stock market, some crypto, you probably feel a lot more comfortable if in those types of circumstances, right? And so, and actually, I'm sure some of you caught this in the Blockchain Backer's most recent video today. He said that he is a bull. And he said that after not being particularly bullish kind of for months. He said that in his own video today. And I say fair enough, because the crowd is frequently wrong-footed anyway. But this comes at a time where he said that, the excitement in the market that was here in March, it's gone. He said it's wiped out. And when that happens, that is the moment where you would expect that, it's reasonable to suspect you could have a reversal here. So I understand why he would say that he's, more bullish in circumstances like these. That makes all the sense in the world. And there's this post. This is from analyst Alex Kruger, and he said, extremely strong payrolls. U.S. job market screaming, no recession anywhere in sight. Unless something terrible happens in the Middle East, U.S. equities will start making new all-time highs soon. So, I mostly agree with that. I would more broadly state, though, if there's a black swan event, fine, then equities would suffer. Fine, stock market will be, everybody would be a sad panda. Okay, fine. But without that, I'm not seeing anything that's going to prevent us for the foreseeable future to continue to trend to the upside. So I would broadly agree with that. There's also this. You guys are familiar with Uptober, right? It's what the crypto bros call October. They call it Uptober because more frequently than not always, but more frequently than not, October is a green month for crypto, for Bitcoin specifically. And so Santiment, which does on-chain analytics, highlighted the following. Mentions of Uptober have declined significantly, painting a picture that traders have become much more bearish on the idea of this month being an automatic money printer for crypto. The lack of optimism opens the door for at least a short-term bounce. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sentiment has been in the gutter. I mean, it went up a little bit today, not surprisingly. So we've been recently in fear, including yesterday. Now we're at 49 out of 100, so the market's feeling a little bit neutral. But that's because the typical living retail speculator, they're just investing and flying by the seat of their pants. Directionally, whatever's happening, they will feel feelings in accordance with that direction. If it's going up, they're gonna feel super happy. And if they're down, now I'm a sad panda. That's how it goes. It's stupid as hell, but that's how people actually feel. They're investing their hard-earned dollars, and then they feel those things, and then they make important financial decisions. Completely absurd, but I'm continuing to expect people to people. They're going to keep peopling, and I'm just not. I'm just going to robot it up, beep, boop, beep, and not feel emotions. It's fantastic. It's a good time. The whales kind of do that. Take a look at this. This is a post from Ki-Young Ju, founder and CEO of CryptoQuant. And he wrote, and he shared this chart, and he says, if this Bitcoin bull cycle is done here, whales have just set a record for the least profit taking across all cycles ever. So, have the whales been wrong-footed? Have they? Because they've been accumulating recently. I've been highlighting that as they've been accumulating. As they have bought the dips, are they being wrong-footed, or is history kind of going to rhyme with itself? You know what I think, don't you? I'm guessing it's the living retail speculators that might be making the poor decisions. Just saying. Take it for what it's worth, folks. There's also this post yesterday from chart analyst Mustache. This is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH, the chart otherwise known as Total 3. And he wrote the following. Some see the end of the bull market. I see a nice retest so far after the downtrend was broken after 6 months. Yeah, and so that's true. It's certainly worth noting that, there are a lot of altcoins that are substantially down from March. But what he's noting here, here's the downtrend line, broke above it, back down for a retest, and he's like, he's expecting that it was probably going to pop, and then today happens, and he provided an update. He says, hashtag altcoins. So it's the same chart, total crypto market cap, except for Bitcoin and ETH. And he says, such a nice bounce from the downtrend line from which altcoins broke out after 6 months. I hope you were listening yesterday. Bears are still waiting for $44,000. Higher. Now, of course, if you're not a chart analyst, here's what I think the best thing to do. And you do whatever you want. I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything, but this is why I firmly believe you can still make a ton of money in crypto without being some sort of chart wizard, knowing how to chart. And I don't. I have no interest in learning. My strategy is superior, I firmly believe, because I have data that shows that people that trade in the stock market, they lose money. It's the same humans with the same DNA having the same false confidence doing that in crypto. Almost everybody loses money trading, getting out of position, so on and so forth. So even if you don't know for sure what's going to happen, if you just hold stuff after you buy it and let time do the heavy lifting, it's not a guarantee that everything's going to become profitable. Of course not. But if you have broad exposure to the crypto asset class, don't you think that your number go up? I mean, it's been working for me for 7 years. Duh, it shouldn't be surprising here. So even if you don't know, I'm still saying, like, why fly by the seat of your pants emotionally? Why wouldn't you just have confidence? Oh, yeah, the market's down today. Okay, well, it doesn't always go up in a straight line. Oh, okay, I know that's logical. I should just be okay with that. Duh, like, let the logic soak through. Let it seep into your skin, okay? And then feel emotions accordingly. Like, just do that. At a minimum, though, whatever you want to do, whether it's buy or sell or hold, whatever you want to do, just make sure you're making those important financial decisions based on logic, data, and reason, sound mind, and not emotions. It's not a good time to do stuff when you're feeling the emotions with your hard-earned money. I think that's pretty fair. We also had this from Charting Guy. Crypto total market cap excluding top 10 coins by market cap. And it's a similar concept to what Mustache was showing on his chart, which was total 3. So this is the others chart. That's the name of it. It's, again, every coin in the asset class except for the top 10 by market cap. And he says most altcoins look like this right now. And that's the same concept as what Mustache is. And I've seen this from tons of analysts. It's like, yeah, it looks like it's bouncing. And this would be a moment where historically you would expect that to happen. It's actually, there is precedent to have these types of notable pullbacks, even for altcoins, in bull markets. It doesn't mean the party's over. It just makes people feel like the party's over, and then the up continues. So it's still certainly plausible that we have a very green October. There's also this post from Dr. Magic. He says, I was promised the death of XRP after the appeal. So far, bears couldn't even break 52-cent support mentioned in post below. Yep. Well, I'm sharing your sentiment, buddy. That's for damn sure. XRP is just fine. There is nothing wrong with XRP. In fact, it's never been so well positioned. And if you still think today that XRP is in trouble because of this appeal, I'm telling you, you are wrong. And forget what I think even. The market is telling you that you're wrong. Look at the price of XRP. It's not the case that people panic for an hour and a half, then they cease panicking for, another 50 hours, 50 plus hours, and then the panicking for some reason, it just resumes based on the 2-day, 3-day-old story, whatever it ends up becoming. That is not how humans work. That's not going to happen. Forget that idea. If you thought that this was something disastrous and we're going to miss this bull run because of this, you're wrong. If we miss the bull run, it's going to be because of something else. But I'm telling you, look at what the price of XRP has done. It's just back to moving in tandem. Almost nobody cares. And so given that that is provably the case, there is no solid argument that XRP is just not going to participate because of what the SEC did. It makes no logical sense. It's not happening. Look at the charts. Because what actually matters is not my individual opinion or your individual opinion. It's fun to talk. I like that. And I'm happy to share it because since I like talking, I'm happy to share my thoughts on this. But what matters more is what everyone else throughout the entire world thinks. Because they're showing you what they're buying and selling activity with XRP. The bulls are in the driver's seat on this topic of the appeal impacting what's going on here. It's really, I don't see how it could reasonably be up for debate. I mean, yeah, we can have discussions about it if you want to, but at this point, can we have a reasonable debate about that? No, you're wrong. If you think that, you're just wrong. There's been too much time that's passed, and XRP, it's moving back up. It's not like the SEC sued in 2020, and we went down like 20-40%, and then the market's like, no, let's go back up for a little bit. Let's go back up for like another 4%. Let's just do that. 4, 5, 6, whatever. And then it just resumes, and then it ends up at 80% below. Like that is not how that worked. And if you think that's happening here, that is absurd. You hold an absurd opinion. That's what I'd have to say. So I maintain nothing but optimism here because I think that's what logic requires at this point. Logic, data, reason. Look at everything. Look at historic precedent. Even if you just want to look at fundamentals, throw it on top, fine. It's fantastic. There's been so many incredible developments this year, like tons, even recently. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here waiting for the euphoria to come back, which I believe is most probable, though not certain. I think that's most probable. And then our altcoins are also going to be a part of all this, including XRP. And I'm just going to wait for that. And when it comes, if I'm enticed to sell, because it goes high enough, then I'm going to sell. And I'm optimistic there's a very good chance that's going to happen. And in the meantime, since I can't make that happen, and I don't know for sure when it's going to happen, I'll just hold. Because I know that strategy works. Unless something fundamentally happens, like the code breaks for XRP or whatever coin you care about, and it somehow gets hacked or something like that, I think we're going to be fine. You know, there would have to be like a black swan event specific to a coin like XRP for it to not have interest on a global scale anymore. I don't find that probable. I'm just saying. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.